That's why I came here.
All right, good evening. It is, what is it, 6:03. I'll call this May 12th meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Please join me in saluting the flag for the first time in a month and a half. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So the Board of Selectmen is back on track to meet every other week at the Senior Center, and we're going to continue with the Zoom, so if anybody wants to participate and address the board on any issue, you can join us by Zoom, and I'll recognize you on the computer, and if you want to speak to us, feel free. So, first order of business, approval of the minutes from May 5th.
So moved. Second?
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
I'll obtain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 23 for $353,154.21. School warrant number 1055 for $32,355.98. And general fund warrant number 1056 for $212,775.42.
So moved. Second?
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Financial items, accountant transfer. Ashley, what's that?
It was on my desk,
Oh,
for
you got it.
software maintenance. $359.39.
The accountant is seeking to transfer, this is within her own thing, right? So
Yes.
this isn't from finance committee monies, right?
No, it's
So,
two different accounts within her own budget.
to be transferred from the accountant other expenses to the accountant software maintenance expense, underfunded at the annual town meeting, in the amount of $359.39.
I'll move to approve that. Second?
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on that? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Do you have an original of this, or?
Just needs one signature. Thank you.
Is that the only transfer we have this week? I think there's a lot more coming down the
Yes.
road.
Mhm.
What do you want me to do?
Sign.
Where? Well,
My name,
signatures.
there's three signature things there.
What's only one?
There's me, and then there's a space, and then
Oh,
that'll
okay.
be Jason,
Got
and
it,
there's a
got
space.
it. All right, I'm getting it. Takes me a minute. Been a while.
All right, and we're moving, so we don't have any old business. Anybody got anything under old business they wanna talk about now, or?
I don't think so. What was
Anything?
old from last week?
Well, we had Leonard, that keeps getting moved, right? We're moving
Yeah.
that again?
Yeah, I'm waiting for, just a final approval from town council, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before I was waiting for a final document, I got that, now I just have them, need them to give the final approval and
Okay.
should begin.
Did you get anything on the pilot things?
I haven't had a chance to talk to them
No,
yet,
all right.
no. It is on my to-do list.
Yeah, right. But we should be good with that anyway, so.
Yeah, and that's just for the,
The
The
decommissioning is all
decommissioning,
we're, I just wanna follow up on it, so we make sure that we get it,
right, to see who's gonna get it and how it's gonna be
And
held and.
monitor it,
Right.
right, yeah.
All right, if nothing else, new business, approve a highway bid request.
I already signed it.
Oh.
But we never actually had it on the agenda, so.
Oh, okay. Did we discuss it in a No, it was just, oh, Jason, you were just looking to extend, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
there's a provision in the bid package that allows us just to extend the existing numbers into the next fiscal year. This will be the last year we're able to do that. We'll have to rebid next year.
okay. So we did approve that.
No, you just signed it because it was on the table, but it wasn't ever officially approved.
Oh, okay.
So,
I move to approve it.
Second?
All right, motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Is it still around, the original?
I have it right here, yeah.
All right, because
You
Jason
signed it,
did.
John signed it.
Yeah, Jason's the
Yeah,
only one
he's-
that has to sign it.
You know, an extra pen over there.
The next item is discussion of reopening town offices.
Thanks.
Yes, so we were just, I guess we've had some concerns, not concerns really, but, you know, if you wanna limit access at first, because there's really not enough space to have 6 feet apart at certain windows, and with the copy machine right there, then we wouldn't be able to use the copy machine, and, I mean, personally, I don't have any problems with it, but I know some people have offices, they don't have a plastic window that they can talk to people in front of, so I didn't know if you had any ideas on.
Well, Tara's getting her plastic window.
At your office, you getting one?
I'm using one of those.
Oh,
Yeah, Jim
all right.
Caldwell made them. And
Okay.
thank you, Jim, for all the nice shields that he made for the elections and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Very
thank you.
nice.
But if I'm social distance, I don't have to wear a mask, are the people coming in required to wear masks?
I would say yes, for the
Yeah.
time being.
That's due to the governor's thing is if you're going into a business that you have to wear a mask, right? If you're gonna be,
No, if you have to wear a mask in a grocery store or a pharmacy, mandatory. If you're in a ride share type vehicle, like a taxi or an Uber, mandatory.
Mhm.
All other retail establishments is, if you cannot maintain 6 feet of separation, it's mandatory. But if you can maintain 6 feet of separation, social distancing, it's not mandatory, so, I guess that's the guidance. However, until a couple of more weeks pass, and, you know, May 18th is gonna be all that guidance and stuff
Mhm.
like that, so,
well, the hallway's not 6 feet wide anyway, right?
yeah, you
So,
can't get
yeah,
past
so
anybody in the hallway.
People have to wear masks if they come into the
Want
office.
to just go another couple weeks, the way it is, closed and,
No, I wanna we wanna reopen on schedule with, you know, on May 18th, but,
just don't have-
just didn't know if there was gonna be any restrictions.
People
Trevor
coming
was
in have
talking
to wear
about
masks.
putting down tape on the floor and on the carpet so that there's 6, you know,
If they're wearing
Just wear
masks,
6
it
feet
doesn't
apart.
matter.
right,
Yeah, if they're wearing masks, it doesn't matter, so masks mandatory.
Okay.
And we'll just
Just put a sign on the door and if they come
sign on
in,
the door and,
tell them to leave.
sounds good.
so for office personnel, if you're engaged with a town resident on business, you should be wearing a mask.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you don't need to, you know, have it around your neck or something like that and pull it up when
Yeah.
you're within the 6-foot thing. And,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah. And then let us know if there's any problems with, people not maintaining the 6 feet, because that is a narrow hallway that needs to be
Yeah.
monitored, I think, a little closely, for now, anyway.
mhm.
All right, so, do we need a motion to reopen?
do you have sanitizer in there or anything
I
for
think
people to,
we don't?
Effective when? Tomorrow?
I have nothing.
Monday?
should we have something at the door? I don't know, I'm just asking.
You had sent out
I
something.
sent out an email. The Board of Health sent me some links for the automatic hand sanitizers that you just put your hand
Yeah.
under. It's like $250 to $300. Very hard to get.
Just a bucket of spray stuff. For
That would
those,
be fine too.
can we get any?
That's just it.
Yeah.
There's very little that I could find online.
Well, I would say,
I got a contact, I can get a case for $96 of the pump ones if you want it,
Okay.
from Command.
yeah, that's good.
Cause you're gonna
Yeah,
need some
well-
down here for voting anyway, right?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to get?
So just let me know how many cases you want, so a case of 12 is $96. They're 16 ounce pumps.
Good.
But it's not like you're gonna take a bath in it, right? So, one box maybe?
Yeah. Will we have to chain them down or
We may.
walk away on us?
So you, effective tomorrow, or
No.
Monday, or-
The 18th,
May 18th.
yeah.
effective
Monday
the
morning.
So
18th?
Monday.
And you'll be able to get a sign on the door and all that stuff?
Yeah, that won't be a
Excellent.
problem.
So I'm moved to open the town offices effective May 18th, for people that are wearing masks only.
Second?
Right, motion made, second. Any further discussion? Anybody? We good? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, we have elections coming up June 1st, right? So the elections will be held here, and the Board of Health would like us to announce that you can also vote by mail-in and early voting options. Contact the town clerk's office, or you can go to the website, and there is a link on there. I think there's a form that you can.
For early and absentee voting
Yep.
application, yep.
So it's on the website if you're interested in early or absentee voting. Then, on June 5th, we will have the special town meeting, followed by the annual town meeting. And the town clerk, the Board of Health, and the town moderator have all been in consultation on protocols to safely have this meeting. The governor's order exempts town meetings and functions like this from the 10-person minimum. So we will be putting in place protocols, or the Board of Health and NABEMA people, the North Brookfield Emergency Management people will be overseeing separation. From what I understand, families that live in the same house can sit together.
Yes.
If you're not in the same household, then you must be separated by the 6 feet.
Yep.
And people will be there, so rows, back to
Every
front.
other row.
So don't shy away from coming to town meeting if you're so inclined. And so the special town meeting warrant, I think is this one here.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's see, we have, the first article will be to vote to accept the 4th paragraph of Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 5B, which allows us to receive stabilization funds and put them into special stabilization funds is what they are. So we take the receipts, like the green gold money that we're getting, and it goes into a specialized stabilization fund. We have to adopt this chapter and section in order to set up those special stabilization funds. So that'll be Article 1. Article 2 is you cannot put less than 25% of a receipt into one of these special stabilization funds. So the second article will be 25% of the money we receive to the specialization stabilization fund for lease payments. And this is going to cover the lease payment for the fire truck that we just got. And the town voted at a town meeting to fund it with green gold money. So this will be the lease fund. Once the truck's paid off, we'll use whatever's in that lease fund to pay off the leases for the cruisers, that if it's still outstanding, or the highway department trucks that are still outstanding. So Article 3 is a stabilization for the police department. Part of the impact fee that we agreed to was $200,000 to the police department for the purposes of hiring 2 additional police officers. And that fund will cover all costs associated with 2 police officers. So that's insurance money, what else do they get?
Retirement, taxes, everything that.
Yeah, retirement,
Associated costs, clothing, everything was put into potential overtime for those
So, that stabilization fund, that's according to the impact, host community agreement. So that'll be 25% of the money, which is about $200,000 for that. Then 25% will go into the fire department personnel fund. Part of the deal was, we don't have fire personnel in town, we're an on-call department, so from 6 AM to 6 PM, where people are out of town at their jobs, we need to staff the firehouse Monday through Friday. This fund pays for that, so that's Article 4. And that accounts for the money that we have in stabilization, community impact fees. Article 5, the Finance Committee has approved or supports transfer of $65,000 from capital stabilization to fix the library roof. It's leaking, it's causing damage, they've identified where the leak's coming from. We need $65,000 out of capital stabilization to keep that from further damage. The next one is $10,000 from capital stabilization to the school buildings and grounds account to purchase a new mower to mow the ball fields. The next 7 is to see if the town will approve some sewer admin salary account to the sewer repair maintenance account. Article 8 is a transfer from the sewer department. Article 9, another sewer department transfer. Are we doing all of these, Tara, or did we cut some of these out? Article 10,
The
40,000.
most recent.
40,000 from the water retained earnings to the water system improvements, so that's water.
We have to have all of those as special town articles, because they can't go on the yellow sheets. So water, sewer, and school are exempted from the yellow sheets like we were talking about earlier today.
So we have to do those at special town meeting, but then there are some smaller, I have 20 articles on here, is that,
Did the highway ones get taken off? Cause I never took those ones off.
Some of the highway ones are
Okay.
coming off.
Okay.
all right, so 11 is a water department transfer, 12 is a water department transfer, 13, $261.99 from
That's
highway.
off.
That's off?
Yep,
Article 13 will be replaced with the new Article 13, I'm assuming, right?
yep.
14 is $6,580, highway.
That one is off. They were able to find the funds in their budget to take care of that.
Okay.
I got a guy on workers' comp, so every day he's out on gaming, so
Oh.
it'll fix itself.
Okay. And then the proposed budget for next year incorporates that money.
Yes,
So we won't be short going forward on that.
yes.
Article 15, transfer from the highway fleet truck radios, or to purchase truck
For the
radios.
Fleet truck radios.
I don't have a solid number on that. Karen, I got a hold of that outfit you recommended,
Theater.
and they were like 17,000. I got a quote from the guy I've been using for 95. I gotta really put that number, I gotta crunch that number.
Will you have it before then, or do you want us to move this to another?
A meeting further out, special town meeting perhaps?
Yeah, I mean,
That might be a good idea, because there's quite a bit of gray area here.
all right, so we could just take it off now rather than passing it over. We'll just take it off
We
and
can still function.
see, you know, maybe when we get free cash money, we'll see what we got.
Yeah.
That'll be fall. See, the next one was money to cover the cost of the town salt shed repair.
Yes, the roof down there is, the hole all through it. I've got 3 quotes right now, and I'm finalizing the quote. The number is gonna be roughly 17,500. That's the best I can do right this moment. I did get an updated quote this morning. I just gotta get the contractors on the same page. They seem to want each do different things.
And what was the finance committee's position on that?
We were waiting for the quotes.
All right, so we'll leave it on and we'll discuss it at a finance committee meeting as to whether we're gonna support it or not, and put it up to the
And
voter.
Nancy said that we don't need the firm figures until,
Yeah,
we've got time on that.
so we leave it on here and then we'll recommend, you guys can recommend up or down. 7548 for the highway utilities to
That's
the.
off.
Off?
Oh, no, that's on, sorry. That is an unpaid bills.
Okay, so yeah, it
previous
has
year,
to
so
stay.
it has to stay on.
Yep.
Sorry.
To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate 50 grand for a 350 truck with plow. Think I need to talk about that again, cause I
Yeah,
don't,
that was, it's been mentioned.
Right, but
we haven't,
done a formal anything on it yet.
okay, we'll leave it on
A
there for
lot of
now.
it is we're waiting because we know the whole situation we're in with finances.
Right, yeah, so we wanna, at the moment, try to save as much as we can. But then that tied in with the school needing the truck, and Jason was gonna give them an old one for him to get the new one because they can't take care of it, so. Alright, we'll leave it on, I guess, and, discuss it further. We can always pass over it if we need to. The next one is raise and appropriate 27,000 to cover the cost of a used chipper. Yeah, I think we talked about that, because he was getting the used one,
Yeah, we've talked
Yeah.
about it. We didn't have any firm figures yet.
okay? And the last one we had was transfer a sum of money to the town accountant's salary. Did Nancy just put that on?
Yeah,
So we need that?
yeah.
Yeah. Anybody got anything on that? Comments, additions, deletions?
Nope.
All good?
Nope.
And we'll, next week, we have to approve these, because they have to be posted 2 weeks ahead. So these have to be posted by next Friday. So at next week's meeting, we'll,
Down there.
take them up and approve them again, so there'll be further comment.
Those numbers will be available that are missing
No, so we don't put the numbers on the
until
warrant.
that time.
Yeah, the motion is the number,
Okay,
um,
okay.
right? That's the way we usually do it, but,
Yeah, and I believe that's what Nancy.
and that causes a little bit of issues with people not knowing how much until that night.
If we can get the numbers, if we know the numbers, I think
Alright,
we'll.
All right, so that brings us to the annual town meeting. So those, Jason, you wanna just start, we'll run down just to briefly describe the articles so people know what they're gonna be looking at.
All right, Article 1, the annual town meeting, it's the same every year. Choose by ballot, the selectman, assessor, everybody else that's been elected, basically approves the town election. And tells us that we have to notify and warn the inhabitants of the town to do that. It seems like it's 5 days later than it's supposed to be, but
What's that?
the article. It's the same every year, but we have the election a
So
week
you
before the
vote on the
article.
Monday and the meeting is on the Friday.
Yeah, the meeting's on the Friday.
Yeah.
So Article 1 is saying we're voting,
We basically approve the ballots, I guess.
right, that's pretty much.
So when you vote on Monday, the new guy gets to go to the meeting on Friday.
Yeah, baptism by fire. Mhm.
Do you want me to keep going, or?
Yeah, why don't you do the first three anyway?
Article 2 is to act upon the reports of the selectmen and town officials. And Article 3, you vote to print the reports, which will already be printed and at the town meeting.
These will be for 2020 though. We voted for 2019 last year.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, 2020.
Do we have those?
Not quite yet. I'm still trying to contact him. I have it all ready to go and he has not got back in contact with me. But I will continue to work on it.
Okay.
So our town report isn't finalized yet, the book,
The book itself is not, everything that goes in the book is finalized.
okay.
So I have all the reports, I have everything ready, it's all printed and ready to go, I'm just waiting to find out how I can get it to him.
Well, for printing,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so,
And you've tried calling, are
yeah,
they not open because of the,
I'm not sure. So I have an email out to him, I emailed him yesterday, and I'll keep trying.
right, yeah.
How long does it usually take to get those printed?
A couple weeks.
Do we have the face done?
Yeah,
Somebody
the
was gonna
cover's
do-
done.
The cover's done?
Yeah, everything's done. All the reports are in, everything's printed, pages are numbered, so.
So Article 4 is to fix the salaries, and there's, a whole list of the budget that we do. That will be posted for everybody to see on the town website, probably by the end of the week. So Finance Committee meets Thursday night, we'll go over and finalize it, and we'll post it for everybody to see. And like we did last year, the motion is likely to just be approve as written, and if anybody has any kind of modification, they have to make it by motion to amend, which has to be presented in writing at the time you make the motion. So we post it online, look at it, if anybody has an issue that they wanna make a motion on, be prepared to do that at the town meeting that night. I will tell you that because of the state finances, and we don't know if we're gonna get money in the cherry sheets, last year we got almost $100,000 in local aid, which may not happen, because the state just doesn't have the receipts. We have, at this point, level funded to last year's budget. So salaries that must increase because contractual obligations are going to increase, but they're being offset by another cost somewhere else in the budget. So a lot of the departments are actually getting less money this year than they got last year to start. The intent is to get into the free cash, to see how much we have for free cash, and start funding the different needs that the departments have in the fall, to see where we're at financially. So that's the goal at this point. John, you wanna do 5, 6, and 7?
To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer the sum of money to operate the water department for a 12-month period. Article 16, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer the sum of money to operate the sewer department for the 12-month period beginning July 1, 2020. To see if Article 7, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to accept gifts, bequests, and donations of money and real estate property given to the town or take any action relative thereto.
John, you wanna do, Jason, 8, 9, and 10?
Article 8 authorizes the Board of Selectmen to enter into any and all necessary lease agreements and other dispositions of personal property. Article 9 authorizes the Board of Selectmen to apply for and expend funds that may be available from state and federal grants. Article 10 authorizes the Board of Water Commissioners to apply for and expend funds that may be available from state and federal grants.
John, 11, 12, and 13?
Article 11, vote to give the town treasurer authority to invest town funds, general cash, water enterprise, sewer enterprise, etc., in short-term investments as the treasurer deems prudent. Article 12, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to sell and transfer titles in the name of town of North Brookfield to any properties, lands obtained through legally acquired tax title foreclosures. Article 13, to see if the town will vote pursuant to MGL Chapter 44 to establish the following fiscal year 21 spending limits for revolving funds listed in Chapter 11, Section 17 of the bylaws. Council on Aging, 15,000, Council on Aging Senior Wheels, 7,000, Fire Training, 7,500, Planning Board Engineering Services, 8,000, Cemetery Department, 15,000, Board of Health, Public Health Services, 5,000, Board of Health vacant properties, 25,000, building permits, 10,000, electrical permits, 10,000, plumbing and gas, 10,000, safety inspections, 5,000.
Yeah, you might wanna check with, Bill King on the planning board. I thought we made that 10,000 a couple of years ago. I thought he made a motion from the floor to make it 10,000.
We haven't met. I'll ask him and see if 8 was enough.
Yeah, cause that's just a cap on the revolving accounts, and I thought he said 10,000 at one of the meetings, and it was approved at 10, so,
Well, I know when we were doing all the solar stuff and everything, it was costly,
yeah.
and that has settled down a little bit.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe he took that into consideration, I don't know,
All right,
but I'll check with him.
yeah, just bring it to his attention, cause we can change it before
Yep.
we go in if we need to. Jason, wanna do the last two?
Article 14 is to raise and appropriate available funds for funding the emergency squad for payment of contracted services. And Article 15 is to accept the sum of $309,884 as the town's apportionment of fiscal year 2020 Chapter 90 funds.
Is that a correct number, Jason, do you know off the top of your head?
Excuse me, what was the number?
309,884?
It's usually right around here, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cause I think,
I don't even have
I think it came into the selectman's office.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
remember?
and I put it in the highway.
that. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, the number
I'll
is
look
in,
for it.
so
Yeah.
just make sure that's the
Mhm.
number, because it changes slightly every year. All right, so those will be finalized and posted for everybody, and that's what we'll be voting on. It'll be put in the window too, right? We'll put it on the website, put them on the window,
Post office, library, police station.
all of which are closed. Okay, so. I apologize for making you sit, Jason, I should have taken you first, and I just went by the agenda. All right, that's all we had. We had
Public comment period?
public comment period, but Jason wanted to talk to us on an issue.
Well, the history is here. Our mechanic, Scott, has been approached by another entity for a position away from his community, with a significant pay increase. I don't want to disclose that number, because I think it's his business. It's not a town position, so I think, in all fairness to him, I'm here to negotiate a pay increase for him. He has been a significant asset to this community, as we all know. I prepared a little bit of a chart, and some footnotes. His abilities are vast, in my opinion, and I've worked with a lot of them over the years. He is a very good mechanic and very versatile, as I said, from A to Z. Electronics, right down, mechanic, diagnostics, welding, fabrication. He's granted us the ability to utilize his own personal machine shop at his home, excreted parts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can't say enough about him. So, I'm here to lobby for a raise for him.
Should this be executive session or no?
No, because it's, we're not talking about
Character.
his character or
Okay.
anything, we're just talking about whether we can give him a raise or not.
I really don't think he wants to leave this community. He's very happy here, but he's young, he's ambitious, and he's looking at dollars. And I think we could keep him with the right price.
Now, the problem, and I agree with everything you say, well worth the money, well worth keeping. The problem is they're a union. How do we get around the
No,
union?
I've already, the shop steward contacted the business agent, and that is not an issue. He said, proceed, do whatever you want, but once a decision is rendered, and that would be obviously probably after July first, if we were, it's gotta be voted on, any type of increase in money. We just have to send an addendum to the contract, it's not an issue.
So how does that affect the other employees over there that see one person
Well,
in the?
I polled every one of them, and none of them have an issue with this increase, because they see how key he is to the department. So there is no resentment, I've polled them all, and, they don't see it. I don't anticipate any issue with that.
All right, yeah, so nothing would start until after July first
That's
anyway.
correct.
So we have time to digest it and.
No, today is it.
He has to make a decision on the other job? Is
Yes,
that- Yeah,
he's already passed the deadlines, he's been stringing them along,
yeah.
and I said I would come tonight. And unfortunately, I need a decision today.
Oh,
There are other options here. I want to point it out to you, if you're worried about the money. Providing we get chapter 90 money every year, his pay increase, I can actually create through that. I can actually, and it's all legitimate, I think I brought it up early on when I was hired, in terms of generating revenue. We have labor costs associated with chapter 90 projects. So if my, let's say it was a $10,000 increase, I could very easily generate that through a chapter project. I don't agree with it necessarily, because that money should go into the roads, but it is doable, and it is legal, as an option.
yeah, because we gotta carry it forward, and the condition of the roads around here and
Well,
the stuff.
I
So-
agree
so
with you. It
Scott,
was-
in Scott's pay, he doesn't take insurance, right?
That's a very
Health
valid
insurance.
point. If he were to leave and we hired another mechanic, I'm quite certain, I'm guessing, if he took insurance, we'd be paying the same amount. On top of that, we're never gonna find somebody this versatile, I'm convinced. If we do, we're gonna be damn lucky. And my other budgets are gonna have to go up. I had 3 different conversations with the fire chief today, and he feels that he's gonna have a significant increase in his budget without the abilities of the existing mechanic. And he did point out to me this afternoon that he feels that Scott has saved him in his time here, which is basically 2.5 years, that he saved him over $50,000. So the guy's paying for himself plus, big time.
Well, we took a gamble at a town meeting and did it without, because it was gonna save us money, so we thought, and the gamble paid off because he saved us
Huge,
probably over $100,000 at this point.
way over that.
So it's a valid investment. What is the finance committee? I know you guys haven't discussed it, but just off, what would be your thoughts on?
Based on his abilities and what he offers the town and the versatility, we don't have a problem with it at all.
Every department.
What's the number that's gonna hit the general fund? How much? What does it equal
All
out?
right, I don't wanna give him, he's willing to settle. So I'm gonna tell, without getting into specifics, right now he's making 54, okay. He's being offered over 70. He'll settle for 10 and no less, which is $5.
Well, how many dump
I
trucks has
asked
he
him-
rebuilt and
Oh,
equipment?
okay, if you
has
look at
he-
your sheet,
Yeah.
there, let's look at some numbers there. I went back to 2015. The annual maintenance budget, if you see in the first column, is $20,442. That's with my predecessor outsourcing a lot of repairs, or I would say all of it. If you look at the snow and ice account, that is monies available through November through March, okay? That's what's allocated for vehicle repair in wintertime activity, include plow blades, just general repairs to the sanders and dump trucks associated with it, okay? 13,000 was spent in 2015. The real number that was spent was, we went in the whole 67, so that 80,448 is what was spent in the winter of 2015, okay? And so if you go down the list, FY 16, very similar, a little less, but once again, the year prior was huge, okay? 17, now 17, I came on board in February. A lot of the money had already been spent for repairs for that winter. So that puts us at 38. So the following year is when October of 17, or a mechanic, Scott came on board, excuse me. And we jumped down significant amount. Now granted, my annual budget was up, and that's because we identified the serious nature of the fleet. Its disrepair was disastrous. The numbers are there. This year, we had a mild winter. I'm turning back probably 7,000 in total. But we're 17 to the good in snow and ice repair right now. I'm hoping, and I pointed this out to Karen earlier in a pre-discussion, my annual maintenance budget, probably at some point in the next year or two, can actually come down a little bit. Because we're getting over the hurdle of the trucks being disastrous. We're putting things together, and it's coming together.
I'm holding you to that.
I can do it. So, that's kind of that in a nutshell. If you look down to some cost-saving highlights under that, most towns don't install their own computers. We bought those computers, they cost $15,000 in total. They were $37.50 a piece. He installed them in 2 days. He saved us $4,600 in 2 days, just by his talents. The finance committee and the selectmen were gracious enough to give me $5,000 yearly for the next year or two to rebuild some dump bodies. He's done 3 of them this past year. To retrofit those trucks with those sanders, and that's an accurate number, $49,000. He did one last winter. It took him about 2 weeks in total, and we spent $2,500 on it versus $49,000. We got 2 more to go. We don't have him. I have to outsource that. It's big money. It's huge.
Either outsource it or spend $49,000.
$49,000. These numbers don't lie, and they're not exaggerated either. Like I said, the 2005, the 2000, they both need dump bodies or complete rebuilds. That's $100,000 right there, if we were to retrofit the truck. The 2000 F-350 water department, we reconditioned that truck. It had been sitting down in pucks for 3 years. We put about, I don't know, $1,500 in it, maybe $1,000-ish. The 2001 that we thought, well, I thought initially when I signed on, I thought we were gonna have to replace that truck. We put a new cab on it, he built a new body. You guys know the numbers. The school just wanted one identical, $75,000. He rebuilt the whole thing. The truck's brand new, other than the engine. But that's rebuildable as well. These are real numbers. It's staggering. This is only a piece of it. The day-to-day operations that guy engages with are pretty intense.
So what's the number from what he's making now to what you want to give him? What's that number?
It'd be a $10,000 increase.
10,000.
So let's say,
Yeah, that's just what I wanted to know,
What's,
'cause
what's 2734 times 2,880?
It's $480 an hour, based on 40 hours, for $10,000 a year. So, and you said right now he's making 54?
What's that number?
This
2730.
is the fiscal year 21, this is what piece you had brought us to finance committee. It's the fiscal year 21 union wage increases.
Well, he's scheduled to get a little bit of a raise, but he's asking for $5 an hour. Am I looking at-
This is what you brought us. So he's.
That's what he would make after his raise. Right now, he's
If
making
you look at the stuff that he saved us,
So the $5.
oh, he
an
saved
hour,
us 20 times that already,
Yes.
I'm sure.
And then he would get his 2%.
I just wonder when the union contract comes up, what do you do with
I
that?
think that's
2021, well,
I did it.
Well, he already told the guys.
34.
So we, you know,
Is that a percentage increase, the union, or do they, you have to do it all over again?
well, that's the,
That wouldn't even put him in, we'd have to create a step and grade form at that point. It doesn't exist right now, if we were to go forward. So, I guess what it boils down to is commitment from the selectmen to let this go forward, and then line up and details.
yeah, well, we would have to condition it on the rest of them signing a memorandum of understanding that they will not seek, yeah, yeah, and they're not gonna seek a reopener to renegotiate their pay based on him getting.
No, I don't foresee that, and I don't foresee a problem for them signing that.
Okay,
I'll speak for them. I feel comfortable saying that, very comfortable.
what do you think?
well, you know, like you said earlier, we did, it did seem like we were taking a gamble back when we first put them on, and we've certainly been rewarded for that gamble, so I'd be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. Just in what he's saved the town, and he's resurrected all these other trucks and rebuilt them. You know,
Not just the highway department.
Yeah, the
he's
school
worked
truck,
for-
right,
He
he
put it
kinda
back together.
brought that back to life a little bit, yeah.
The fire department, Joe wasn't coming tonight, he would have came, I said, but he said he would like to convey the message that if he loses them, he's gonna be spending more money.
Yeah, I'm familiar with all the work he's done on fire department vehicles.
Well,
From,
look at what you have to
Remember today-
outsource, you're gonna, all the oil changes that he does, it all has to go somewhere else. You know, the tires, the brakes, all that stuff has to go.
He
Mark,
threw
are
the
you
number
saving
at me
money too?
Today, 50 to 60,000.
Are you using him?
No,
Huh?
I don't use it much because everything is working. So,
That's good.
we just ask that, now everything's gonna shit out all at
But
once.
is this stuff under warranty type stuff still? That's why.
It's all new.
No, cause they're leases, so,
Yeah.
I mean, I have, for certain things on the older cars, I bought a real one, he's fixed it, saved us money there.
how's he with boats? We could use a,
Boats? He's gonna have to fabricate a whole new boat. I'm sure he could.
yeah. Well, the harbor master needs a boat, I'm just saying.
Yes, of course he does.
Yeah, so, what do you think? Motion?
I'd make a motion,
10 grand?
Yep.
Right, I second it.
just contingent on those guys signing.
Yeah, just tell
Contingent
them,
on that, it's also contingent on town meeting vote.
yeah, well, that'll be in the budget.
Okay.
As part of the salary, it's all gonna be absorbed into that one big number.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that they would have a say over individual employee pay,
Mm-mm. They wouldn't.
because it's not line itemed out in the budget, so it's not gonna be
Yeah,
each individual person.
It's not like mine, it's
Right,
fault.
Right. Yeah, so I don't foresee that to be a problem either. All right, so motion's been made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
So you can
Thank
tell
you.
them,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're making the right move.
yeah, thank you. Anything else?
Any other questions for the highway?
Keep patching those potholes.
Yeah.
Updated on your budget number?
Okay, I'll do that.
I don't think so.
I'll do that.
I think we're good.
Yep.
3 week Thursday.
Any comments from the gallery?
Was Mark here for something, or?
Yeah, Mark's here because he's got a disinfectant machine that he's dying to use on the facility once we're done.
That's for
The
us.
police department is going
We
to,
didn't touch nothing.
Well, nice. Well, that's nice.
right? Anybody have any other business? Anything else?
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanna thank Tara.
I'm sorry?
I want to thank Tara and Brian for the new Christmas tree
Oh.
down at the
Yep.
town park.
Absolutely.
It was installed last week, and it's being watered every day, twice a day. It looks
Good job.
really great down there, and it's gonna go beautiful with the new park ensemble that's going down there. The benches are paid for, the check cleared. They're gonna be shipped on
22nd.
May 22nd. We should have them by the middle of the following week, and hopefully we can start further progress down there. One other thing too is the Bates Observatory has been taken down to halfway, and we're reclaiming as many bricks as we can for down the road. I want to incorporate some of those down at the town park, in the center of town, around the flagpole and stuff. There'll be Bates bricks down there if we can fit them in. And then maybe if there's any left or whatever, we may sell them as a historical memento or souvenir down the road. That remains to be seen, but that's coming up. I have an appointment with a guy tomorrow who's a brick mason to see if he can do any more repair work up there before we cap it and whatnot. What else? Oh, I almost have enough money to buy the ADA park bench that I was holding off on for the new town park. So it's coming.
Okay.
I had another good-sized donation this week coming in, so.
Nice.
You'll need it soon. That'll be,
I'm gonna need, push my wheelchair. Just on something else, the rail trail is being used. I'm so glad that we got it open for this year. Couldn't have come at a better time because there's a lot of use down there. People are enjoying it. Gives them a place to go out, take a walk. It's wide enough to social distance and do whatever you want. There's people walking it all day long down there, so. And we're working on drying up the sections that are still wet.
And I do think the police are gonna patrol it eventually.
On horseback.
Yeah.
Yes, eventually.
Mounted unit.
Anytime they want, Mark, get
Can't find a horse big enough to carry him.
We have one.
get the younger guys out there, and, you know, even the older ones. Get everybody out
Do
there.
you still have the mountain bikes? Did you look at them?
What's that?
The mountain bikes, do you still have them? Are they still usable, or?
I'm sure we're gonna.
'Cause they're pretty old.
Back to, not in a historical nature.
It's rideable now. You can go down it on a mountain bike now. So it's pretty decent, so.
We'll work on that.
yeah. And we need one of those, what are those machines that you stand on and,
Segway.
the Segway?
I wanted to buy one for Dave, I already said.
Yeah, for Dave, we have a nice little helmet with a blue light on it and he can go up and down the rail trail.
I don't know if it's flat, smooth enough for that yet, but it'd be cool watching them the first time.
Good, perfect.
Deep crash.
Yeah. Yeah,
Poor Dave.
yeah, no, it takes a beat.
I move to adjourn.
Second?
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.